Hello, kit heads. We are Talking Kit, the home of the greatest football kit content in the whole entire world. You may not think it, but I have to say that now because that's our tagline pretty much. So I'm Double A, as always. Welcome back to another deep dive into the rank bank where we pick out 10 shirts for us to all have a look over, and our rankers have mused and painfully waited for the pictures to be sent and then painfully gone over them agonizingly for hours, I assume, before I get their final scores back. But if you didn't know already, it's only polite. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your kit-loving friends. The kit community is vast, as Max will probably say in a little bit. Most of them are called Jake in the kit community, it seems. But yeah, share it with him anyway. It's absolutely fine. Get him down, let them become a kit head, and yeah, be involved. So tonight we've got a great panel and 10 great shirts, if I do say so myself. I say before, I am Double A, and no of the regular rankers are here. Sean is still in Dubai. Dom was in Singapore, I believe, and has come back with swollen ankles. I'm guessing he's pregnant. I don't know. And Jay just didn't really want to be here. He said he had something better to do. So I've enlisted the help of a regular on the channel and friend of the show, I would pretty much say, is Jake from Jake's Shirts. Evening, my friend. Everything okay?
Yeah, what sort of wages are you paying Sean and Dom if they're in Dubai and Singapore?
Yeah, as if I'm paying for them to go over there. That's absolutely nothing. That's nothing to do with me whatsoever. But how's everything with you and Shirts in Time? How's that all coming on?
Yeah, it's good, mate. Busy. It's a lot more editing stuff than I thought it was, but no, enjoying it.
So, as I said, this episode tonight, it's a little bit special, I think, and it's something I'm quite happy that we're doing. Obviously, being in the kit community, there's not only the big sellers that you think of, there's also those independents, and they're very important to the kit community, not only for them starting their own businesses, but also, helping kit collectors out, and especially, keeping those prices very, very reasonable, which is what kit collectors all like to see, and find those brilliant deals. Pardon me. And I thought what we should do is get 4 independent sellers and get 10 of that. Well, I had to get 10 of their shirts, and I've picked tonight's 10 from the 40 that was sent to me. It was very, very hard to do. The 2 rankers that aren't here are 2 sellers. So we've got Jay from Retro Football Kits, and then we've got Football Shirt Andy as well, who is also one of our sellers and has kindly sent over some shirts. So the 2 guests we have here are also independent sellers. We'll start off with the second Jake on the show. It's going to be different. I'm just going to call you Jake Shirts tonight, mate. I'm going to have to go the long way. I'm sorry,
that's
Jake.
Fine. That's fine. That's
okay?
fine, mate. That's fine.
That's okay. So we have got Jake Green from JMG Football 98, making your podcast debut as well tonight, mate. How's everything? And thanks for joining us.
All good, no problem. Yeah, it's been going good. Still feel relatively new to football shirts in the community. Probably been here less than a year. Podcast debut, hence why the setup does need some tweaks. But hopefully the next time I'm on a podcast, it'll look a little cleaner.
Nah, mate, thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it. And making his second appearance, I believe, on Full Kit Rankers, 3rd on the channel. I think he was on Get to Know, I believe, a while back, an old show. But yeah, it's Max from Fitted for Fans. Mate, it's a pleasure to have you back on. It's been a little while. How's everything going with you? I see it's seeming busy at the minute, which is great.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot more of the makers markets, as you know yourself. How did it go in Ancos the other week?
Yeah, I think it's good. The 2 we've done really quite well. I definitely suggest going to that one. That one, and I think the Northern Quarter ones are quite. If anyone is not from Manchester, these are Manchester places, obviously based.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping to do as many makers markets as I physically can. I just booked on to do Chester today. All being well, I will get to do the Northern Quarter, but I need to be in touch with them at the end of next week, so I've been told. But yeah, I'm just doing plenty of markets now because I'm trying to do this as a full-time job now. I left my old job because I was despising it with every fiber of my body, and I was just like, got to try and give a solid attempt at the shirt. So as long as I can be out there and a lot of people making spur of the moment purchases, then it could be something that's a viable option for me.
Okay, let's get into the little bit of admin we have to do before we get into tonight's shirts. As I said earlier on, Retro Football Kits do sponsor the show, and they have kindly offered us a 10% discount code to offer to you kit collectors or maybe casuals who just want to buy a shirt for someone. That's fine. There's no judgment here. 10% off all orders at retrofootballkits.co.uk using code TalkingKit10. As I've said plenty of times on this show, all you have to do, they do offer 15% off site-wide anyway. So this gives you an extra 10%. So 25% off overall at checkout using Talking Kit 10. I did plan to have some of the shirts that I've chosen from Retro in the background, but I didn't have time to go and pick them up today. So what I've done is, as a sort of secondary theme, I've gone for shirts I've bought off Independence. I thought that would be nice. Anyway, so yeah, all these shirts, the one I'm wearing and the two behind me, I bought from Independence. So I'm fighting the man. Is that the right thing to say? I don't know. I'm helping out. I'm putting back into the community, as you could say. Anyway, right. If you've not seen Full Kit Rankers before, I will go through exactly what the show is. So we have 5 rankers, the 3 gentlemen you can see on the screen. Also, Jay from Retro and Football Shirt Andy, like I said. I have sent them out 10 shirts that I have picked from the 40 that they all sent to me. And they have ranked them 1 to 10. 1 being the favorite, 10 being their least favorite. I won't say the one they hate. I'm just saying the least favorite of the 10. Each number has a score. I then score them individually and then total it all up into our final table. And that's what we go through the show. So the comments are very important because I would like to know which shirts you like, which shirts you may not like so much, and also which rankings you think we got wrong. Well, not me because I don't rank. So these guys, are they massively off the pace in terms of football shirts, which is weird considering the sellers and the collector, or are they bob on? It'd be great to know. But let's get into the episode. And I always ask the same question before we start. I'll start with you, Jake, because they're not your shirts, and it'll be interesting to see if there's any. It puts you on the spot a little bit. How did you find ranking these 10 this week?
Well, I think I messaged you saying it's probably one of the hardest ones I've done. I've been on here 4 or 5 times now, and I think this is because there wasn't. Sometimes when you turn the shirts over, there's normally ones that stand out and there where it's just putting them. Would say there's a top 3 I have, and then it's just putting them in the top 3. But this one, it was quite. I don't dislike any of the shirts, and I think that's the first time that's happened.
Yeah, I think that's got from picking them. I try to be as fair as I can, but they were all great shirts, and there was none there that I was like, I don't like that at all. Actually, no, there was one, and I'm not gonna say which one it is, but I've widely criticised this shirt. It's in my bottom. It's in my top 5 worst shirts ever. I was like, I can't put that in first of all. But I'm not gonna say who it's from or what shirt it is because that's just not right, is it? Anyway, Jake Green, we'll come to you. And how did you find the 10 shirts? Was you impressed with sort of looking over, thinking, "Oh, I wish I was selling that. I wish I had that listed." How was it?
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I suppose I take a lot of probably hints from what other sellers are selling and what types of shirts they're getting in, because I think you can you certainly spot patterns of what shirts obviously do better than others. A lot of the 90s stuff that was in the picks, it felt like this week, and I always find them really hard to pick through. Yeah. I love a 90s. That's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, for sure. Max, yourself, how did you find sort of ranking these shirts this week?
Yeah, well, I must say there is some amazing stuff out there. There really, really is. There was one shirt I'd never seen before, didn't even know the team existed. So I'm pleased to just have more knowledge about that aspect of things. There is one shirt which, based on what you're saying, I think me and you have something in common about our thoughts about this shirt, but we can touch on that if our ideology aligns.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Right now, that sounds good. So yeah, let's get into this week's 10 shirts then. And yeah, it's a good list. It's a good list. I think you'll enjoy this episode. Right, shirt number 10 from our rankers. I feel quite bad now because I missed off an important detail maybe that one of the sellers had told me about this shirt. I probably should have put that in there. I don't know, but we can talk about it anyway when we go through. So shirt number 10 this week with only 9 points. It didn't even get double figures, unfortunately. It is this, and it's the Werder Bremen 10-11 away shirt from our friend Max over here. Jay had this one in 10th place. He just said he's not a fan of the zigzag, and Andy had this one in 10th also. We'll start with you, Jake, on this one. You had it in 7th place. Oh yeah, by the way, the detail I missed out, Max, is that it's match worn. Match worn?
I can't be certain that it is match worn. It is certainly like player issue. The wash tag is printed on the inside of the material. On the back of it, it does have the Werder Bremen font, just simply number 9 on the back. No name on the back though. Oh. So I have to put. Maybe I'm putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5, but it'll be either like a reserve team or a youth team shirt, I think.
Fair enough. Yeah, sorry, Jake. So 7th overall for you. One of the best crests in football, I think. I like a diamond crest on a football shirt, but are you a fan? Or what do you think of this shirt in general, I guess, as well?
Yeah, you mentioned the badge there, because a lot of teams now are going to like the modern circle style badge, aren't they? West Ham, Max, the City shirt, City badge on Max's shirt there. Who said they didn't like the chevron? Was it Jay?
Jay, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing I really actually like about it. I like the color of it. I like how it kind of draws more attention to the crest, the manufacturer, and the sponsor. The thing I look out on for shirts when I'm ranking them or deciding if I like them or not is if the collar and cuffs, if they match. I know, funny enough, on the long sleeve they don't match, but on the short sleeve they do have a bit of similarity going on. So yeah, not a terrible. I wouldn't rank it 10th. Not a terrible shirt, but nice nonetheless.
Yeah, okay. Max, we'll come to you. You did put it 9th on your list. It's obviously one of your shirts as well that you're currently selling. one thing for me that stands out is the sponsor on this, and obviously with the pattern. Do you think it seems like there's a lot going on in the middle of the shirt on this one?
Yeah, and usually when you're looking at a shirt, you're attracted to the front and center, like around here. So to put so much, I wouldn't say effort, but to add extra detailing much lower down, like into the stomach area, it's not something you see very often. Just really the reason I just put it forward. I mean, there is one shirt that I mentioned to the guys before we started that I kind of regret that I didn't send it across to you, because I would have had that in place for this one. But even so, it's still a unique shirt in terms of the design. The fact that it is a player issue, match issue shirt. I picked it up from a vintage wholesaler in like Cheetham Hill area. So it's just a unique story, a unique shirt in terms of what it is that I have for sale.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it's a nice shirt, mate. If anyone cares on my opinion on it, obviously I'm not ranking, and I think, was this a template that is it Slovenia had as well? I think the home shirt, I remember having something similar with the white sort of pattern going down. It rings a bell. But
I've seen that pattern or template somewhere else. I couldn't think when you sent it over.
Yeah, I think it's a nice template from Nike on this one. Jake, we'll finish off with you on it then, and it was 10th place as well for you, mate. Was it just simply a case there was 9 better shirts than this one for you?
I think I echo what everyone else has said. I don't think it's a bad shirt at all. I just think compared to some of the other shirts in the list, and obviously the shirts that I'm really interested in, the shirts I like, it just ranked a little bit lower than them ones, but it's certainly not a bad shirt.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. Sadly, 10th on our list this week, and by no means that's a diss on this shirt or anything like that, because I think it is a great shirt. And obviously, I don't. Would it have changed anything if I said it was play spec or anything? I don't know. Maybe
it wouldn't have for me.
Oh no! Right, okay.
I was going off the design.
All
So.
All right, then where we go. 9 points from our rankers overall this week. And moving on to shirt number 9, a little bit of a jump in terms of points. 14. Oh, I should have shown it in the player wearing it. Not that it means much, I guess.
Looks nicer with the shorts.
Yeah, I think it does add something, doesn't it? That's why I like to send a picture of the full kicks, and you do get that sort of on the player look and everything like that. But yeah, there we go. Shirt number 9 then, 14 points from our rankers this week, and it is this. It's the Juventus Zap Lolly shirt. Is that what we're calling it? Do you remember the Zap Lollies? Is that me just now? No one knows about?
Well, anything like that, I'd say you could compare it to a Lush bath bomb.
I mean, that's one way to go, Max. Yeah, I guess. It's obviously the Juventus 2019 EA Sports FIFA shirt that we brought. You know, the Adidas teams all had these special shirts that were brought out for a few years. This is their shirt, obviously the real life version, and it's come, like I say, 9th on our list. Jay has put this in 9th place. It's quite a cool kit, maybe a future classic, not as good as some of the others on the list. And football shirt Andy had this one in 6th place. And let's go through the rankers that are here. Max, we'll start off with you on this one. And it was your 10th place shirt this week. So it was bottom of the list for you. You're not into Lush bath bombs, I guess.
Well, I mean, I say that, but I do have the City 2019-20 third shirt. So who am I?
Tango Eyeglass, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think my dislike of this shirt comes with, like, there's context. I know that it was associated with EA Sports and FIFA, but was it actually ever used in a match?
I couldn't see any pictures. The only one I could see.
That's the thing.
That's the only one I could find.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's not a football shirt. It's an esports shirt. You know what I mean? Like, I know esports is the thing at the moment. Like, there's a lot of attention onto esports. So I don't put it in the same category as all these other shirts, which we're going to see today. It's just something that, yeah, if it was used in a match, you know, even like the Human Race shirts from a few years ago, I could probably score it a little bit higher. But to me, it's just a marketing gimmick shirt. It's not a football shirt.
Let's be told then, I guess.
By the way, was this the shirt that I thought we would have something?
No, I think not. I don't actually mind this one. The one I was talking about, I didn't put in because I couldn't. I thought I can't have that shirt in there. It was one of the 40, but this one would be. I think this would be number 10, and I think I agree with what you're saying. It's just a fashion piece. We talk about football and fashion going hand in hand. This is just, like you say, it's specifically for one set of people, which is obviously FIFA players, not for your average match going fan. Although you do see these, I have seen the United ones pop up at Old Trafford a few times over the years. But no, Jake, let's come to you on this one. And it was your 6th place shirt. So you're an average FIFA player? You into it? Or is it a pattern that you're a fan of? Oh, sorry, Jake Green, not Jake.
Sorry.
That's my fault. I knew this was going to happen.
No, I mean, I am quite a big FIFA player, but it's more the design. I really like the design, and I like a shirt with a fashion collab. I like a shirt with an external collab away from football shirts. Sometimes I think it works well, and the name set on the back as well. I think it bumps it up a little bit, just having Ronaldo on the back. To me, it was a really nice shirt. It does give me kind of the vibe that it could be a modern classic in the future. But like Max said, with it not actually being worn for a game, it does kind of take a little bit of that away. But the design, I am really behind. Yeah,
it's like it would fit perfect in a third shirt, you know, for a Juventus, wouldn't it? I think it seems to be that way now. Pre-match, yeah, I think so. Jake, shirts. We'll finish off with you, mate. This was your bottom shirt this week, so I'm guessing you just echoing everything that sort of Max has said on this one.
Yeah, this is probably the one shirt that out of the 10 where I was probably edging towards the disliking of it. It looks a bit like oil slick. That's what I think it is. But then also, like the other two have touched upon, it wasn't worn in the game. So what is the point of it really? It's just like FIFA really. It's just a cash grab, isn't it? That's what it is. I've probably taken into consideration how many FIFA points and how many controllers and whatnot I've broken playing FIFA when I've been ranking the shirt. So yeah, 10th.
So it's PTSD is the reason why you've ranked it so low. Fair enough. That's fine. There we go then. Shirt number 9 this week, Juventus on their 2019 EA Sports FIFA never worn in a match shirt, I guess. I have to give it, though, the fact that the logo is on the collar is a nice touch, I have to say that. And at least they've not got the horrible electric Jeep sponsor on this one as well. But anyway, moving on and away from Juventus in 9th place. And we go to number 8 on our list, 22 points. So a little jump again. And I'm quite disappointed. I love this shirt. And this was going to be one that was in the background. So it is a retro football kit shirt. Sadly, it is this. And it's the Vélez Sarsfield 93-95 away shirt. Yeah, I don't know. I just think this is beautiful. And Jay from Retro does agree with me on this one. He's put it in 3rd place. He says, again, classy Umbro, but this one has the class Umbro taping on the sleeves and that Umbro pattern on the base. And Andy had this one in 9th place. And someone who also had it in 9th place was, I should just say JMG. JMG, you also had it in 9th place. For you then, what was sort of not hitting? You said you liked the 90 shirts.
No,
what was it? What was this one not doing it for you?
I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on why I'm not a massive. I don't like the sponsor. I feel like the sponsor's too low.
Yeah,
that's one thing that's. But I feel like the sash at the front and the sponsor feels too much. I don't know. I just can't put my finger on why I'm not a fan, because it does tick a lot of the 90s boxes. I really like the tapering on the side, but no, I think it's the sponsor being really low. That's putting me off it.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. Jake's shirts. You had this one in 4th place, so you were a fan of it, I'm guessing, or a bigger fan. What was you liking? What can you tell us about this that you thought was good?
Well, ever since I've had Alex Shaw on my podcast, I've just had a thing for 90s Umbro, and this is just the epitome of it. Umbro taping, jacquard. But like other Jake said, the sponsor is. I don't know if it is too low, but there is something odd about it. It does kind of take away something from the shirt, and that kind of my OCD with the badge not being perfectly in the chevron as well. That's getting to me. But old school collar as well. So yeah, just a very nice shirt, but there is a few things stopping it from breaking into the top 3.
Yeah, I agree. Also, what's annoying, and it might annoy you guys even more, could even push it down a little bit. The only pictures you can find, they don't have the same sponsor from this year. The sponsor is bigger, and it hasn't got the white circle, which is really annoying. And every picture from this season has that. Max, will finish off with you. We spoke about the Werder Bremen shirt and it having too much going on, and this is sort of the reversed the V and the sponsor. For you, does it sit similar? Because you had it sort of 8th place this week. Is it too much going on?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say it's just a blue shirt with white chevron, and I guess if it wasn't for the crest in the sponsor, it would just be a bog standard template shirt, like that could be used for Sunday League. Nothing unique. It's not got really anything about it where, you know, if you were flicking through a row of football shirts, you'd see it and just be like, well, that could be a bunch of teams. But, you know, if you were to see, you know, let's use the United 99 shirt, if you saw the Umbro logos just that on the sleeves, you'd know straight away that that's the United shirt. You don't get that with this shirt. Just touching on what's been said about how the Samsung logo is far too low. It just, I know every now and then Jay likes to do these videos where he likes to improve shirts. I would love to see it where the Samsung logo is raised just a little bit, but where it's white, it's blue, and it's blue, it's white. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Mate, if he's watching, he better be. That's your next video, Jay. Improving 90s shirts. Max can give you a list. Let's hope that becomes a thing. Well, there we go then. The Vélez Sarsfield. I have to say, I've seen it close up, and I do think it is a really
Where
nice.
are they from? I've never heard of them before.
It's Argentina. They're Argentinian team, yeah. I think one of the first teams to have chevrons as well, I think. But no, they're a big club in Argentina. And they have come 8th place on our list this week of shirts from independent sellers, and with a score of 22 points overall. Let's move on to number 7 on our list, and the only goalkeeper shirt we've got in the 10 as well. There was a potential of another one, and I switched it last minute. I think I switched it for this as well, which is probably a mistake now, looking back, because people don't like it, which is fair. And it is this. It's the Tottenham Hotspur 97-99 goalkeeper away shirt. 26 points overall from our rankers. Jay had this one in 4th place. And he says, 90s goalkeeper kits are always a standout. Love the patterns and colours. I agree, my friend. And Andy had this one in 3rd place. It got some love from some of the rankers. So the rankers that are here, let's speak to them and let's get their thoughts on it. Jake, shirts. We'll start with you on this one, pal. And it was 9th place for you. Why? What are you not feeling about this 90s standout goalkeeper shirt?
What I do, so when I rank it on here, I prep like little notes to me just so I don't forget why I put it here. And I've actually put at the bottom of this saying, just because it's 9th doesn't mean I don't like it. I actually really like it. Yeah. It's just, I love the colour combinations. It looks a bit like a clown suit, I think, though. Do you know what I'm getting at? It does a bit. But yeah, like, okay. But like Jay said, it is like just, if you were to picture a 90s goalkeeper shirt, that's a prime example of it. But yeah, I've probably been a bit harsh in it. I think maybe my 9 to 5s, you could probably swap around if you asked me at a different time of the day. So
yeah, no, I think Jay said something similar when he sent his list through. I think he said he was agreeing with you. You know, it's a really hard list, and I think you could have, depending on what mood you're in, what you kind of feeling that day, you could switch them around at any given point. And like I say, I think from the 10. From the 40 I was given, I think these 10 are all really stand out for different reasons. Max,
when we came into the stream and I saw Jake with it in his background, I was dreading the shirt coming up to be honest with you.
I didn't want to say anything. Max, let's move on to you, mate. And it was 5th place for you. I mean, do you wish we could go back to 90s goalkeeper shirts and it wasn't these boring templates for every club? There was a bit of originality in some of the shirts goalkeepers were getting.
Oh, sure. No, I can. Well, you say originality, but then again, my favorite goalkeeper shirt of all time was used by Chelsea, Celtic, bless you, Chelsea, Celtic, Everton, Inter Milan. So they're crazy designs, but they're not unique to the teams by any stretch. This certainly was, though, unless I need to dig a little bit deeper. But yeah, even now, I mean, like City's goalkeeper shirt for this season, like it's crazy, but it's not. But it is a template. I have seen other teams wearing it. The manufacturers just don't put the effort into it as much as they did back in the 90s. That's for sure. But for this shirt, it's ugly as sin, but it's amazing. But I don't know if that's nostalgia clouding my judgment.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. There's a good old Ian Walker wearing it there. JMG will finish off with you, mate. Max is absolutely bang on what you're saying there in regards to, yes, I said it wrong. They were templates. You think of the Liverpool and Newcastle Adidas ones from the 90s as well were absolutely fantastic, but a template. Do you think, because what we get now with football teams is you get a standard home shirt, which are always pretty much boring. You get sometimes weird away, hello Manchester United 23-24, or a standard away with a bit of a varying colour, and then you get a third shirt which is normally batshit mental. Do you think, save the batshit mental third shirt for a goalkeeper shirt and just give us a standard third shirt? How do you see the sort of devaluing of special goalkeeper shirts and your thoughts on this shirt? I know that's a long way of asking you a question, but I had to get there somehow.
I just think these type of shirts, the era is just perfect. I think every year in the night, especially for Tottenham specifically, being a Tottenham fan myself, we had 2 or 3 goalkeeper shirts and they were all just as mental as each other, and they just really fit that era. They fit the style. I just wish manufacturers were a bit more creative now. Like you said, it is a boring template now, and it can be used from the Premier League right down to Division 3, 4, 5, and you wouldn't know any different. So yeah, I like the colour. I agree it's probably that ugly that it's nice in a way. I like that you've actually got that picture, because I didn't send this in, but it does actually have Walker on the back. So that fits even nicer. I didn't actually take a picture of that for some reason. Whether that would have got it any higher, I don't know, but it suits that picture now.
Is that an adult size of yours?
It's a small.
All right. So do you fit into it?
No, sadly not. I'm a medium large, so it's a bit of a squeeze.
Even as a 90s, like small.
Yeah. It's quite short. I think it fits me arms kind of, but then it feels really like cropped on me. Like if I lifted my arms up, I'd be exposed.
Put some pants on them, mate. That's all I'd say. Or go around with no pants on. As I found victim myself too on an Instagram post yesterday. It looked like I had no pants on. We won't talk about that. Anyway, now we've got also as well. How did goalkeepers save anything with those? That shirt looks weighty, like, and how baggy it is. No aerodynamicism, is that so even a word, in those shirts whatsoever. It's I don't know how they saved anything.
I don't have many memories about Ian Walker, but for some reason, this overriding memory is that he wasn't very good. He was English and they needed English goalkeepers. Him and the Wimbledon, Neil Sullivan, for some reason, I just thought, well, if you're going to have a shot at him, you got to score a goal.
I think there was a in the 90s, from what I can remember, there was sort of David Seaman was the standout. Yeah. He was the one. Then you kind of had sort of the pretender to the throne, which was David James. But it was a pool of okay, decent goalkeepers. And I think
Nigel
Martin, like say Neil Sullivan. I think Ian Walker you'd class him as a decent goalkeeper. He wasn't outstanding yet. I don't think he was really that bad. And I think, he played for Spurs, which I guess in the 90s, any of us could have played for Spurs. I'm joking, Jake. I only played, mate. I think he was okay. I think he was an okay goalkeeper. But he's wearing a shirt that's come 7th on our list this week. It is the 97-99 Spurs away goalkeeper shirt. Beautifully patterned and designed, I have to say. 26 points overall. Also, as well, I have to say this week, it's great that we haven't got any joint. We've had weeks and weeks of having joint shirts coming together. This week, it's just 1 to 10, which is fantastic. So well done to you, rankers. Moving on to shirt number 6 and 28 points overall from our rankers. And it is this. It's the 95-97 home shirt from Max's favourite club, Manchester City. With Kincladze on the back of it, this shirt has. We'll start with Max. It makes perfect sense too, being that he is a City fan. And he had it number 1. You'd be surprised to learn. And I don't think that, no, that's not to do with any bias, because I generally do think, I would say, is this probably your favourite ever Man City home shirt, Max?
No, I would say it was the one that came after the one and only Kappa shirt. But this is very close second. I've got it here in my collection. Although I was just looking on eBay before for a Kincladze name set. I'm pleased to say I can now get myself one. So I will do that at some point or another. This shirt is 90s defined, really. Classic Umbro, classic crest. brother when it was the height of fame for Oasis and the Gallaghers. I mean, who supported City, you couldn't get a more appropriate sponsor for such an era. The proto Lionel Messi of Georgia King-Cladsey. You watch Georgia King-Cladsey dribble and tell me that that's not the Messi. Like, King-Cladsey walked so Messi could run. I will die on that hill.
Fair enough. A couple. We don't really talk football on this channel. It's about kits, obviously. But I have to ask you, as a City fan, I don't know if you were old enough to remember him sort of that well, King-Cladsey. But did you think, as a City fan, you think how was City at that time? Obviously, City, so up and down, a bit of a mid-table club. How have we managed to pull off having this absolute little wizard play for us?
I can't say that I remember, because a lot of people in hindsight have said, like, oh, he was a great player on his day, but he was a bit, he was very self-centered. He wasn't a team player, which probably explains as to why we were in such dire straits on the pitch, not to mention off the pitch as well, too. Yeah, sorry, I just can't, I lost, but yeah, when you watch the videos back, you can see there was an absolute class there. And I don't know if this is well known, but like we were linked as well with Luis Figo around that time too.
Mm-hmm.
So we could have been Champions League winners back in 95, 96, let alone in 2023.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think with Steve Lomas in your team that you ever really stand a chance. But
I've got to say, you're gonna die on that hill as well, Max. That's a weird hill to die on. No. But those big badges around the crest were absolutely fantastic, and the name for that is absolutely huge. And I will say it, City and Umbro in the 90s were spot on. Although I do have to say, I say it every single time I have a City shirt from the 90s. It always reminds me, especially the purple one from the 90s and the red and black stripe, which was the template that Chelsea had, the orange and grey. Yeah. Always reminds me of a kid in school called Paul Skelton, and he had the worst BO. So every time I see a City's 90s shirt, I think BO and I think Paul Skelton. So thanks for that, mate. Luckily, I don't have to wear them, so it's okay. We'll move on to JMG.
Paul Skelton.
Yeah, shout. I don't know if you. I think I might have him on Facebook, but I don't post this on Facebook, so you probably don't even see it, which is probably a good thing for me. JMG, let's come to you next on this one, pal. And it was your 7th place shirt. I mean, what do you think of it? Do you like? It's a proper 90s shirt. The sort of fit, the collar.
It's similar to the Brennan one, really, where I like them all, but there was just some really good shirts. So this probably slipped down a bit lower than what I wanted it to, but it is perfect 90s. I love the sponsor; it's iconic. I love the stripes within the collar. I think that's really nice. I think a lot of 90s shirts missed the trick with just having the blank collar.
Yeah.
And I love an original name set on a shirt. I think there's too many like name sets that are just like reproduced on that are not real, but to have like an original sponsor on original name set on a shirt like that just makes it really iconic, especially when it's a player like that.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. Also, like it's a good thing 90s shirts are oversized because there's no other way you're getting that name on the back of your shirt, the size of them letters. Jesus.
Having to pay per letter as well, too.
I hated that because your mum be looking through the list to see you had the shortest name. But yeah,
you're getting Geo on the back, G-I-O, and that's it.
I used to have the initials AR. That's all I had. I didn't even get a number, just AR on the back of my shirt.
And now it would be AA.
It would. Oh, cheers, mate. Nice one. It would. Jake, let's finish off with you on this one, mate. I've got a bone to pick with you, to be honest with you. First of all, because you come on this show a lot, and a couple of times you've been on, we've had Leeds shirts, and straight away, you put them straight to number 10, and you call them a certain word. Now, for me, personally, being Mancunian, this is the team. Well, then Liverpool. I think Liverpool first, but I hate these more. You put this in 6th place, and you've not called them a weird name. So explain yourself how Leeds get all this hate, and yet Manchester City skate by. I'm interested to know.
Because I grew up around a lot more. Because I'm from the northeast, so I grew up around a lot more Leeds fans and City fans.
Oh, okay.
And and fair play to City fans, because when City weren't the club they are now, they weren't. I didn't really come across that many, to be honest with you. But they weren't like Leeds fans. Leeds fans are just you can have banter with City fans. I think I'm just alienating every single Leeds fan here, but majority of Leeds fans, you just can't. I don't know. It's just like you say something about Leeds, and it's just like life or death for them.
Yeah. Well, what have you been saying about Leeds? Oh, do you mean the football team or just the place in general?
The place is all right, but the team, yeah. Prefer not to speak.
If you speak, you'll be in trouble. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No, okay. So on this shirt, then we'll move on from that. This shirt, yeah, it's like I say, 6th place. Just a classic 90s football shirt, right?
Yeah, well, when you said it was 6th, I thought it'd be higher than that, and then I realised I've actually ranked it 6th. So, but yeah, Max and Jake have touched on it pretty much. What I was going to say is, if you think of a 90s Premier League shirt, this is definitely one of them that comes up. I love like the imprint of the City badge and the design as well.
Yeah,
I don't know if that first picture kind of shows off. You kind of see a little hint of it there.
Yeah,
and then obviously iconic sponsor, classic Umbro 90s, really shield around the crest as well. Yeah, probably would have been higher if it wasn't for other shirts in the list, if I'm being honest.
All right, fair. No, that's absolutely fair. Yeah, Umbro in the 90s, obviously, I think my favourite United shirt, the 94, 96 home shirt, obviously had the Old Trafford in the background. So the Umbro were absolutely perfect. Having that printed in pattern in the base of the shirt, just absolutely great. Well, there we go then. 6th place on our list this week, Manchester City and their 95-97 home shirt, 28 points from our rankers, right? Shirt number 5 and 31 points for your next shirt. And it is this, another one for Max, and it's the Rangers 90-92 home shirt. Like I say, 31 points overall. Jay from Retro had this one in, where did he have it? He had this one in 6th place, and he says, love that collar and base pattern. And Andy had this one in 4th place. So let's go through the rankers that are here. And JMG, we'll start with you on this one, pal. And it was your 7th place. No, I'm lying. It was your 2nd place shirt this week. Big fan of the Rangers shirt. What was it then that was really stand out for you for this one?
I think it's more, I love the collar, I love the shirt, the sponsor's massively iconic. And I just think that they didn't have a bad shirt. This era of shirts for Rangers represented so many nice shirts. Yeah. And I just think that epitomises it. I don't remember there being a bad shirt. So I think any Rangers shirt from this era that would have been put in, I would have ranked highly, just because I've ranked them all so highly.
Fair. I'll be honest with you, this is one that totally escaped me when Max sent it through. I was like, I had to zoom in on the picture to see it was Rangers. It's one that's passed me by, Rangers. I'm not. But then again, being from a Catholic family, I was kind of pushed towards the Celtic thing, you see. So Rangers, I kind of had to. I think I might have told this story before, but I went to the Adidas outlet, like Adidas factory, they call it in Manchester, Stockport, to get a France shirt. A France shirt at the time was really, really nice. And then they didn't have it, but the Rangers shirt was the same template. And I just said, oh, can I have that instead, to my gran? And I won't repeat what she said to me, but let's just say it was a resounding no on that shirt. Well, anyway, we'll move on. Anyway, Jake's shirts, let's come to you, mate. 8th place for you. So was your granny a Celtic fan as well then? I'll take it if it's not that high up.
Well, funny enough, I actually got kind of pressured into. I think it was a Celtic and a Rangers shirt in TK Maxx when I was about 12 or 13, and yeah, a bit like you, I got pushed away from the Rangers shirts. I've still got that Celtic shirt somewhere actually, but no, yeah, like Jake said, when there's so many iconic Rangers shirts from the 90s, and then I'm going to agree with you. I haven't really come across this one, but I think that's because there is so many other iconic 90s Rangers shirts. Yeah. I love the collar, I love the design within the shirt, and that McEwen's lager. I know alcohol in football is a big problem, but I do miss alcohol sponsors. I'm not going to lie, and especially McEwen's lager.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned that collar; it's almost like a scarf, isn't it, around your neck? Like it looks like a scarf, which I really like on that.
Yeah, that's really smart.
Big thick collar. Max, let's finish with you then, buddy old boy. 4th place on your list. Do you see it as a classic Rangers shirt, or are you similar to Jacob himself, who kind of says it's one that's kind of...
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe it's just because it's an old shirt that clouds the judgment. I think with the shirts that I've sent over to you, it's less about, obviously being a shirt collector as well as a shirt seller. I love the hunt as much as I love, you know what I mean? My supplier included this in the haul, and there's a lot of modern stuff that comes with it, but every now and then he'll chuck in a really great old shirt, and this is one that came in, and I've never ever been caught out with a fake from him before. He's a really, really good, solid guy, and even then, when I received it and it's in spotless condition, the tags barely look like it's worn away, I'm thinking to myself, this can't be right. This isn't legit. And it is. And as well as that, my grandpa was from Glasgow. He passed away in 2016, but he was from Glasgow. And before he moved to Manchester, and he was 18 years old and ended up supporting Bloody United, he was a Rangers fan. So there is this little bit of an emotional connection, but I don't really care about Scottish football. But yeah, it's in immaculate condition. It's a lovely looking shirt. The story of how I acquired it is cool to me. Yeah. So yeah, it's a really good shirt.
It is. No, you're absolutely right. And like I say, they've had so many iconic shirts. I like the fact this is a new one to me, but no less iconic, really. And like you've all said, pattern. The fact it's Admiral in the 90s as well, for me, is quite drawing. You think Admiral very 70s, early 80s, the crossover into the 90s, I think is brilliant as well for me. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely like it. So there we go. Rangers this week, 5th place with 31 points from our rankers. We'll move on to shirt number 4, and just by 1 point beating it into this place, it's this, and it's the RB Leipzig 21-22 third shirt. I think one that's quite lauded in the kit community of what I've seen of people that own it, and you do see a lot of pictures of it for good reason. Jay had this one in 7th place though, and he says bold and funky, love the colours. And Andy had it in 7th place as well. We'll start with Jake. Let's start with you on this one. Jake shirts. It'll catch me out. You should be on that now, because I've been saying JMG each time, Jake. So
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
That's on you this time. You had this one. Had this one in 3rd place. Obviously, it's 2 seasons ago now, and obviously since then they've changed their template, which gets a lot of criticism. And I think this one was a very popular one. It's the England home shirt you think of straight away with a lightning pattern down the sides. Great template, great shirt.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of it. I know some people might say it looks a bit like a bus seat or a train seat, tram seat, but I love the color combinations on it. It's like in your face, but it's not too harsh on the eyes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I love like the zigzag pink bolt patterns down the side of the shirt as well. They've got like a little Leipzig detailing in there as well. I don't know if any of the pictures show it off, but yeah, someone mentioned before about a shirt being a potential future classic. I think this could be one.
Think is it one you own? No.
No.
I was asking. I was just not for any reason. Max, let's come to you on this one, and it was your 2nd place shirt. You a fan of bus seats and train seats then?
Oh yeah, I can't get enough of them. So much so that I always drive by car. This shirt is one of those. I when it comes to me and my shirt collection, is that my main focus is just that I'm looking to build up City 91 to the present day, and if I'm buying anything that's outside of that, then it just has to be a good price. But when I saw this shirt, I was like, ooh, yeah, this is a shirt I'd be willing to pay a little bit more for. It's the colors complement each other, but the vividness of the zigzag pink Just gives that little something to make it pop out a bit. The thing that just only just dawned on me now is the fact that it's RB Leipzig, sponsored by Red Bull. It's kind of like in the 90s when Celtic was sponsored by Umbro whilst having their shirts manufactured by Umbro, and Bolton manufactured and sponsored by Reebok as well too. Like, okay, we get it. You guys are a big brand, you know. Is it a Reebok shirt or is it a Bolton shirt at this point?
And the stadium was named Reebok Stadium.
Yeah, and the stadium as well too.
Reebok Arena, yeah.
It's still. I live 10 minutes away from the Reebok, and that's the kind of. It will always be the Reebok to me, not the Tough Sheet Community Stadium, not the University of Bolton Stadium. It's the Reebok, and it always will be.
Always be the Reebok. Yeah, absolutely. Just like for me, the Etihad will always be called the piece of shit. No, I'm not going to go there. I ain't going to go there.
I thought we were friends.
No, I had to get a little one in there. You've won a treble, for God's sake. I've got to get my kicks where I can get them now, haven't I? JMG, let's finish with you on this one, mate. And it was your 4th place shirt. I said earlier on about the sort of 90s goalkeeper shirts. And you know, RB's like Leipzig, white, red, yellow. They could have those 3 kits every season, all in different patterns or whatever. This would make a perfect goalkeeper shirt, right? If you was to do that whole vivid patterns for goalkeeper shirts. It's a nice shirt, but could you see it being a goalkeeper shirt as well?
Yeah, 100%. I think one thing I like, especially when I'm collecting, is I'm not a massive fan of a home shirt because I think we get that every year. And I love an away shirt. I love a third shirt that in a way represents nothing to do with the badge. And this is perfect for that. If you looked at it, you wouldn't instantly associate it with Leipzig. And that's why I like it even more. Love the colours. Definitely a future classic. The pink down the sides and on the tapering, really, really nice. And Leipzig were really good to watch around that time. And I think that always bumps a shirt up, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. I just have to say, because you did say before you're a Spurs fan, I'm not surprised you only go for away and third shirts, to be honest, mate. Because I think you have the same shirt every single season. So
exactly, yeah. For me, our shirts could not be more boring. But I think especially the last couple of seasons with Nike, we've had some interesting away shirts. I think the third shirt this season's definitely split some opinion. Understanding what colour it is, we don't know.
In person, how would you define it?
Do you know what? It's brown. I seen it on the first promotion that we did. It looked pink. When I seen it when we got knocked out by Fulham, it looked, I don't even know what it looked like. Then Spurs released the thing that it was taupe, and then I took pictures of it outside. I took pictures of it. I don't know. But I've took pictures of it inside. I've wore it. I've took pictures in my room, and it looks a different colour each time. And I think it just gives that effect where it will forever be changing colours. So I could not tell you.
So might as well make it iridescent. That's the big trend right now.
Yeah. So it's the chameleon shirt, is what you're saying. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
It's a RB Leipzig 21-22 third shirt. 32 points from our rankers coming 4th this week. Moving on then to shirt number 3, 34 points. And I think it is a team that became an RB team eventually. But in 2000, they were known as the New York Metro Stars, and it's their home shirt from that time period. Jay had this in second, and he simply said, love the old MLS kits, especially the Nike ones. Love how they have their name on the base as well. And Andy had this one in 5th place overall. Max, we'll start with you on this one. And it was 6th place for you. MLS kits now are all Adidas, and I think they follow the same trend back in the 90s. They follow all American sports where they're all under one umbrella in terms of a sponsor. How do you like this kit? And do you feel like that hinders sort of originality over in the MLS and American sports?
Well, it sounds almost harsh that I put it down as 6th because I do genuinely like it. It is just a template shirt at the end of the day. In contrast to what I just said a moment ago about all the branding, like we know this is a Metro Stars shirt. And the funny thing is, like, I used to, on the very first FIFA, my first FIFA was FIFA 98. And I love New York as a city. It's one of the greatest places in the world. I used to play as the New York Metro Stars all the time. I don't recognize New York Red Bulls. Like, to me, they will always be the Metro Stars.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a simple red and black shirt. But yeah, it's just a simple red and black shirt.
Pretty much. I wish they'd have kept that name, Metro Stars, which is, you know, as you say, under the umbrella at Red Bull, it's just doesn't hit the same, does it? JMG, let's come to you on this one. And it was third place for you, so you kind of got it nailed on. Yeah, what are you thinking about those sort of 90s, early 2000s MLS shirts, and this one in particular?
Definitely a massive fan of that era of MLS shirts. I love the patch. Obviously, the league sponsor on the side. I think that's probably one of the best patches ever for me. I love the MLS design. I love the big sponsor. Like Max said, you can't miss it. You know it's Metro Stars. The colours on this are really nice. I love that it's red and black, then the big yellow in the middle. I think that looks really good. I just think all the MLS shirts around that seat, especially another one, the yellow and green LA Galaxy one, with that big central sponsor.
Yeah,
that was so good. Them kits with that with the league sponsor on the side, they're just big favourite of mine.
Yeah, I agree. If anyone wants to see someone with an amazing collection of these kits, go and check out Tom from El Clasico, because
I met him the other day and he was wearing his LA Galaxy shirt. He came to Preston and I knew it was him beforehand because of him wearing that shirt. Ugly as sin, but at the same time, I just have that appreciation because it's an old and rare shirt.
Ugly as sin, fair one, mate. Big shout out to Tom, though, if you're watching, mate. I appreciate it. Jake, shirts, let's finish off with you, mate. And fifth place for you. The Metro Stars not Metroing in terms of the 10 shirts. Oh, maybe they are.
To be fair, I didn't actually, when I was trying to find this kit before, just to look at other pictures of it, I didn't realize they became New York Red Bulls. When I couldn't find them anywhere, I was confused. So I only learned they became New York Red Bulls about an hour or two ago. Okay. But you touched upon Tom and El Clasico kits there. It's just, I love these shirts pretty much because of his collection of them.
Yeah.
I've ranked it where I have because I think there is nicer shirts from Metro Stars. I think the 98, 99, if you had one of these in, it would have been top, no questions asked.
Mm.
But
blame the sellers, mate. No, I'm not selling it.
But like Max and Jake have touched upon, the sponsor matching is the actual team itself. I love stuff like that. Yeah,
it's class. Not a fan of where the numbers placed, though. I will say that. That is a nice. Yeah. But I could take that away. It's not be all and end all. Well, there we go. Third place this week, the New York Metro Stars 2000 home shirt. 34 points from our rankers. Right, we're down to the final two. Second place, 35 points overall, and it is it's the Arsenal 2000 to 2002 home shirt. I mean, what's not been said about this football shirt? I hope there is some things that have not been said, because I've got 3 people here who are going to talk about it. The people that didn't or aren't here to talk about it are Jay from Retro Football Kits, who had this in 8th place. He's a Chelsea fan, so do remember that, why he would put this so low. He's done a Jake here, hasn't he? Jake shirts, not JMG. Not a bad kit, but a bit boring compared to the others on this list. Yeah, okay, if you say so, mate. And Andy did have this one in 2nd place as well. Max, let's start with you on this one. Arsenal, I think they won the league in this shirt. I think at Old Trafford. They won it in this shirt, but it was that season. Dreamcast, classic sponsor. What are your overall thoughts on this, considering you put this one in 3rd place this week?
Yeah, it is a very simple design. I do like the implementation of the navy stripe within the sleeve. I don't think that's something that is incorporated enough when it comes to Arsenal. And I feel the same way when it comes to Liverpool and green, because when they do implement those colours, just that little something, it just changes the whole dynamic of it. To me, this shirt, I obviously like the Invincibles achieved what hasn't been achieved since then. Obviously, Preston did do that back in the 1900s, but Arsenal don't like to talk about that. But this to me was peak football. Arsenal were the first team where I distinctly remember, like, wow, what a team. I distinctly remember players like Thierry Henry coming to Main Road. Oh, I distinctly remember going to watch City versus Arsenal at Main Road, and we were 4-0 down at half time, and Streakers came on afterwards, and that was the first time I ever saw Streakers, and I hid my eyes. But like, that shirt was just like the best of Thierry Henry, the best of Pires, Vieira. It's as much about the players than it is about the shirts, because if we're being honest, the shirt isn't that great. You can say that the crest that they have now is far superior to what this one right here. Dreamcast was a flop as a console. I think anyone might feel nostalgic about it, because like everything we say is based around nostalgia. But if we get to the nitty gritty of it, maybe things aren't really that great. But this shirt it's about the players as much as about the shirt.
Mm-hmm. No, you're spot on there. Absolutely. JMG, let's come to you on this one. And this was your 5th place shirt this week. Is it because you're a Spurs fan, mate?
I had to try and take all the bias out of me. But I don't know. This is probably one of the... Because I do actually really like a lot of the Arsenal kits, especially in and around this era. And I think a lot of the modern shirts are actually really nice, apart from this season. Last season, I thought 3 really good shirts. All the shirts in and around this time, especially the Gold Sega, I think the O2 shirts were better than these, in my opinion. I really like the O2 ones. This just is a bit boring to me. I just don't think it's that imaginative. I don't know. I just can't really have a massive opinion. I'm really trying to not be biased.
It's fun to watch his work, to be honest, mate.
He's complimenting more than I ever would for your United shirt, to be fair.
Hey, go on. No, that's absolutely fair, mate.
All I can say.
No. You said that's all that's needed to be said on this one, mate. Jake, let's finish with you. You had it in 2nd place. I have to show you this picture first, right? So obviously he's scoring a goal there against Fabian Barthez. I don't know if you ever heard this. I know we've been friends for a while. So I have a conspiracy, right, that Fabian Barthez, although he was, eccentric and he won the World Cup and everything, okay goalkeeper, wasn't that great for Manchester United. For Manchester United, he used to always let French players score against him. Right? And this is why I picked this picture in particular of Thierry Henry. I remember his first game at Old Trafford, and he let Louis Saha score twice on him. He let Will Todd score the goal that won in the league this season. Here he is letting... He looks like he's fed him the ball there. He looks like he's assisted him. He's watching him.
If Henry wasn't there, you'd think Fabian Barthez is kicking that ball. Looking at that.
How are you so far back? You're an absolute joke. So, yeah, I had to put this picture in because I have a conspiracy that Fabian Barthez used to let French players score against him when he played for Manchester United. And there was a lot of them in the Premier League at that time, like there is now, I suppose. And he also smoked, which I didn't like as a goalkeeper in football. That annoyed me. Well, anyway, what are your thoughts on this shirt, mate?
Max has put it perfectly with the nostalgia thing. That's what I've just scored this shirt on. It's just what I remember growing up as a kid. As a Premier League shirt in Arsenal, this is what I remember them. Obviously, Henry, Bergkamp, Vieira, Ashley Cole, people like that. That Dreamcast sponsors, if you're talking Premier League sponsors, it's one of the most iconic, probably top 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
I really like the old school, old style Arsenal badge on it as well. And I keep saying it every week on Shirts in Time. I'm a United fan, obviously through and through, day I die, but Arsenal shirts, I don't know. I have a rule of not collecting other English team shirts, and every time I see an Arsenal shirt from the early 90s or the 90s, that rule's just considered getting broken, unfortunately.
There's only one shirt I would do that for, Arsenal, and that is the original 90s lightning bolt away and the blue. And it's with, you'd have to get the original, obviously, original name set would be perfect. Ian Wright, number 8, with the night tick in the bottom of it. Oh, mate.
Who was I having this conversation with the other day? You don't see a lot of Ian Wright Arsenal shirts. Obviously, one of the legend of the club, but you just don't see a lot of them at all. You see Bergkamp, Henry, Vieira, but Ian Wright shirts rare.
He was unbelievable. Couldn't score against United though, so that was all right. You know what I mean?
Even better.
That's exactly. Also, as well, if you guys are right in what you're saying, I'll just chip in a little bit. When you look back at this shirt and you look at the design, those blue stripes are horrendous. They go too far down, don't they? Why are they going all the way down there? They look out for me out of place. Unless the other side of the stripe was a different color, but the fact it's white, I don't know. If it stops at the red, I think it's a little bit better. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Anyway, that is our second place shirt this week, and it's Arsenal with 35 points. We've got one shirt left, and I don't want to say it's a pretty obvious choice to be number one, but I just feel like it's such a classic shirt, and the person who's picked it is a bit of a cheat code, to be honest with you. So we probably have to have words with him when we see him. 44 points overall. Only one person didn't score it top this week. And it is this from Retro Football Kits. It's the Barcelona 92 to 95. Yes, I said that right. They used to have away shirts for 3 seasons. 92 to 95, people. Can you believe it? I think in the 80s, you used to have it for about 10 years. They'd start 80 and end it in 90. Anyway, like I say, 44 points overall. Jay had it number 1, surprisingly. I think he's just trying to plug his own product, but that's fine. You know, that's what we're here for. Independent sellers episode. Just an iconic kit, really. Kappa know what they are doing. I agree. I absolutely agree with you. And Andy also had it in first place. I think we should start with... Oh, maybe we'll leave him to last. No, we'll leave him to last. Let's start with you, Jake, on this one. Jake's shirts. Top for you as well. I mean, so much is said about 90s Kappa. I mean, and Barcelona are one of them teams that probably epitomise it along with sort of Real Betis. But for this one in particular, it's just pretty much fantastic. There's not much you can say against it, really.
No, one thing I do want to say is, though, when I saw that there wasn't a United shirt and I saw the Barcelona shirt was in, I thought with yourself, obviously the Barcelona shirt's going to win because that's always seems to be, or a Brazil shirt if the United shirt's not in. But for the shirt itself, the only thing that can match Umbro taping for me is Kappa taping. It's just the logo. The logo suits it perfectly. Yeah. And this shirt is just, it's just iconic. When you think, I think everyone hates fake shirts, and rightly so, but I think it's a testament to this shirt because it's so heavily faked.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously doing something right, isn't it? That everyone wants it. So they have to make a high supply of fake shirts for it. But the shirt itself, like the... Sorry, what are you going to say?
I was going to say, even Barcelona fake it and sell it. Even Barcelona sell the fake version of this and the home shirt. That's how much love. I've seen their Instagram account plugging the winking shirts without the Kappa on it, and it's just got the taping without the Kappa logo down the sleeve. It looks horrendous. I was like, you can. Well, I'm gonna say you can't be that desperate for money. They're selling blades of crap outside the stadium at the moment, so they are desperate for cash.
Yeah.
But no, sorry, mate. Sorry to interrupt. What were you saying?
And like a common theme throughout this show has been like the team within the shirt, along the front of the shirt where the sponsor should be. As you can see there, obviously it says Barca, but then obviously in the Jacquard printing as well, to have the Kappa logo and Barca, just couldn't really rank anything else first, if I'm being honest.
No, I absolutely agree. And Kappa were great at that, at putting their logo in shirts. Was it this is his City shirt, and it's just half of the big Kappa logo. I'm sure it is a shirt from the 90s where they've cheekily, or is it the Real Betis one? It's the big K. This summer, anyway, that they was constantly putting their own logo in shirts, which is, fair enough to him, I guess. JMG, let's come to you because we'll leave Max till last to figure out why he scored. I guess it'd be interesting to know. Number one for you as well. Perfect shirt.
Everything I love in a shirt. That is just it for me. It's 90s. Kappa were the best for me of that era all the way through. I have a jacket, I think it's the 97, the green Barca jacket. It's a bit of a darker shade. And again, it has the Kappa tapering down. I think there's like an iconic picture of Ronaldo wearing it. It reminded me of this straight away. There's no bad words to say about this shirt. It goes with my other point of, I love that it resembles nothing to do with Barcelona. Again, the colours, turquoise, nothing to do with the badge. It's just out there, and I really love this one.
Yeah, I agree. This is actually the shirt why I support Barcelona. Showing me age a bit here. Obviously, when they battered Manchester United in the Champions League in 1994, 4-0 at their Camp Nou. It was a 2-2 game at Old Trafford where Mario was just absolutely unbelievable. The one thing I do hate about 90s, though, that this shirt, it's not showing it here. I think this was 93 in the Champions League. It's obviously got the taping. After that, they had to take the taping off, which was really, really annoying. And, just leave it alone, guys. Leave it alone. Right. Enough about me and my sad history. I've got a video coming out on AAFC actually soon, why I support Barcelona, also why I support Brazil, so maybe watch them when they come out. That'll explain a little bit more, if you care at all. Right, okay, Max, let's finish with you. Only person to have it outside number one, 7th overall for you. How come, mate?
They've done better with this color. I feel like with every aspect of this shirt, they have done better. In terms of the shirt color, well, the shirt color is pretty consistent when they have done this shirt color along the way. But, the Barca with the Kappa jacquard, I think that's the term. I'm not clued in on the term. Like, they've done better with that with the 2019-20 third shirt, for example. The use of the Kappa logo has been better on like 97, 99 era, like the one on the City shirt. They've improved on that since this one here. The blue pinstripe across, I don't know why it's there in the first place, but also as well too, the stripes coming in from the shoulders, it's been done better by Adidas when they had that template, like with the Germany 92 shirt, for example. Everything that people seem to like about this shirt, in my opinion, has been done better along the way somewhere. I'd say the only thing that it's got going for it is that the crest, to me, is a lot more vivid in the color than what the Barcelona crest is now, with a slight modernization about it.
Okay. No, mate. I mean, that's why we do what we do, and why everyone has a different opinion, and why we all value those different. Well, some of us value those different opinions, anyway. To say the least, I do. So no, that's absolutely fine, mate. And I think what you laughing at?
just how many people you've got me alienating Leeds fans. You've been going on about Catholics, yeah. Just
I never brought religion into anything, mate. Don't tell me with that. Hey, all I said was my gran didn't like Rangers. I never said why. You just might not like blue. That was that. You jumped to that conclusion. That's nothing to do with me. Anyway, this is our number one shirt this week, and it had 44 points overall, which is a really good score, I have to say. Barcelona 92-95 away shirt coming top of our list of the independent sellers list. Right, as always, the scores, so I don't cheat, and everyone can see that I'm a fair man, and I spend a little bit of time putting everyone's scores together and giving them to you to have a look at. So there we go. And that is it. That is this week's episode. Thank you so much for stopping by the Rank Bank and getting involved in the show. Let us know in the comments, like I say, what you thought of the shirts, what you thought of people's rankings, where we got it right and where we got it absolutely stinking wrong. Before I let everyone talk about themselves a little bit, I have to say, I've really enjoyed this episode, and I think it's really important that channels showcase those amazing independent sellers. It's not easy, to have some people do it, have a job and do this as well. And, people like Max really stepping out there and making it become their full-time job. So I just implore you, where you can, I know it's easy to go to the big sellers and get their shirts from them, but if you can, go and find an independent. They'll definitely sort you out. And I believe some of them will even give you 90% off if you ask them. No, I'm not saying that. That's not. But no, help local businesses. Like everyone says, help local businesses. Independent sellers are just as important as well. They're really important for the scene and for the community as well. So yeah, make sure you definitely following these guys. All the links will be in the descriptions where you can find them and see their wares. I wish I could show you all 40 shirts that they sent us because there was some absolute bangers in there. It's a shame I've had to pick a few of each. So if you like this episode and you think it's something worth doing, maybe every so often we'll just get one independent seller in and just showcase 10 of their shirts, and we can talk all about them a little bit. Maybe have a little bit more of a chat. I know we don't really interview people here. That's not really it's all about the shirts. No one really cares about the people. It's all about the shirts. So but maybe we could do that a little something different going forward on this full kit rankers. But yeah, anyway, that's enough from me. Jake, thank you. Jake Shirts, thank you so much for stopping by, buddy. Let people know where they can find you, and obviously your amazing podcast as well, mate.
Yeah, well, just to echo what you said, really, I think independent sellers are some of the most important people in the community because they are where I get a lot of my shirts from. Obviously, you have your eBay and your major sellers, but independent sellers, the more, the better, I think. So just to echo that. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Jake Shirts, and the podcast, like I say at the start of the podcast, every Monday, 6 p.m, there's a new episode out at Shirts and Time Podcast on where you find your podcast, and then at Shirts and Time Podcast on YouTube.
Also, I've not forgotten that I'm still yet to defend my Goals in Time title, mate. So get that sorted because I want to defend my title, mate, and flex on people again. Do you know what I mean? JMG, mate, what a debut on the podcast. I'm expecting to see your own YouTube channel sometime soon, mate. Giving it all the biggin about your shirts. Thanks for stopping by, mate, and just give yourself a bit of a plug. Where can people find you and all that good stuff?
Yeah, no, really appreciate you inviting me on. Obviously, podcast debut. Hopefully I can do a couple more things like this soon. I do enjoy it. At the minute, you can always find me on Twitter, so it's at JMGFootball98. Considering venturing into TikTok, Instagram, one of them to try and change up a little bit of the content that I'm doing, but that'll probably be in the future. Should have a couple of unbelievable shirts coming this week. So stay tuned on Twitter for a little bit of that. But I'm really looking forward to showing what they are because they are by far the best shirts I've ever had. Nice.
Yep. Link in the description. Make sure you go and check in Jake down on the link and the description for his Twitter, and hopefully you talk about TikTok. One guy you want to talk about TikTok to, mate. He's good old Max here. He's the king of football shirt TikTok, I have to say. I know you hate me saying that, but
no,
I'm saying
it's not that. It's because genuinely I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm literally that dog meme of the dog sat at the computer like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Was that fucking necessary? Is one of the greatest series on TikTok going, mate. Honestly, like, have you? It's unbelievable. It's so good, and it's simply just saying they shouldn't have wore that shirt. Why have they done that? It's brilliant.
Yeah, but I find it so awkward when kids, and I mean that in the truest sense of the word, kids come up to me. I have been recognised. I got recognised at Wembley for I think the semi-final or the final. Can't remember which one. But a kid couldn't be older than like 11, 12 years old. I was like, are you the guy who does what's that fucking necessary? I'm like, oh, please don't swear. You're so young and innocent.
That's brilliant. No, mate, I'm glad it's going well, though. Obviously, if you want to give yourself a plug, that's what we do this little bit of the show. So give yourself a plug, mate, please.
Yep. So I'm pretty consistent that on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, I am and Depop as well too. I am fitted for fans, but without going into the long story, on eBay, I am FFF 2020. I am venturing out doing makers markets now, so you can physically come and see the shirts. So my next store will be at Albert Docks in Liverpool on the 1st of October. Then I'll be doing the makers market in Chester on the 7th of October. All being well, I'll be doing the Northern Quarter the next day, but I still need to get that confirmed. And then most important of all, 14th of October, it's the Retro Football Fair in Sheffield.
I'm going to Lanzarote that day, so yeah, nice one. I'll be honest, I wouldn't much rather be in Lanzarote. Oh, what? Anyway, no, mate, brilliant. I'm so happy you've all come on, and it's good to see you again, Max. As always, make sure you go and follow these guys because, yeah, I love the community and I love when the community comes together to do shows like this. And there's some brilliant people as you've seen tonight, and Jake Shirts as well. He's been here, so that's great. Anyway, that's enough from us. Smash a like. I hate saying smash a like on the video. I need to stop saying it. Please like the video. That's all you have to do. Subscribe to the channel. We're growing steadily, surely, slowly, whatever it is. Just become a kit head, get involved in the community, and share it with your kit loving friends. There is plenty of us, so why not? We'll be back for more full kit rankers and some more Desert Island kits. That is definitely coming back, I promise you. But as always, whatever you do, just make sure you keep talking kit.